Now, I've owned a fair few cars in my life, most recently an MR2 Mark III, an MX5 NC, I've even had a VW Golf, but they've never quite ticked all the boxes for me. One, wasn't fast enough. One, the inside wasn't nice enough. One, it just gave me headaches when I was trying to fix it. I've never found a car that really was perfect until today. And I think I found it. Let's get into it.
This is my Mark II V6 Audi TT Quattro, and this thing rips. It does 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds thanks to its 247 brake horsepower, naturally aspirated 3.2 litre engine.
Go for a bit of an early morning one today. It's Bank Holiday Monday, so it's nice and quiet. The roads are dead. Perfect day to review a car. Now, my car's the automatic. I know a lot of people turn their nose up at these because they want the manuals, but you kind of get the best of both worlds with these. You've got the paddle shifters by the steering wheel, so you can drive it
like a manual.
It's got sport mode, which revs even higher and stays in gear a lot longer, so you get that really punchy high RPM. If you're using this as an everyday driver, you get the ease of the automatic. Road tax for the manuals per year is about £730. On this one, it's only £430. So you're actually saving money buying the automatic. Here we go, let's give it some beans. You don't even need to give it beans, this is just downhill. Love this hill, it's so much fun to drive down. Corner's a bit tight at the end, but that's all good. Oh, there was a pheasant, it didn't jump out in the road, thankfully. Now, it's not the lightest car, I'll admit that, but the power and steering on this are more than enough to make it really fun going around the country lanes. It's almost too fast on the country lanes. To be fair, these ones are pretty tight. There's a lot of potholes. It's not the best practice one. This car, it has the power and it has the steering ability to make it really, really fun. Equally, you could take this on motorways or even take it to the Autobahn if you wanted to. It's got 155 miles per hour max speed, and yeah, it absolutely would get you there quickly. It does 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds, and you can really feel it. Oh! And that V6 sounds amazing. This is just with the stock exhaust as well. If I had an actual aftermarket exhaust, this thing would be phenomenal. Now, price-wise, these cars are actually very reasonable. Because you're going to be paying Audi prices for repairs, it keeps the actual price of the cars low. You can pick up a 2-litre Mark II for around £1,500, or the V6, which is the most popular one, which everyone goes for around £2,200 upwards. They're really budget-friendly cars. I honestly can't think of a better value for money sports car. This is obviously a petrol. I get around 35 miles per gallon, and with the price of fuel going up, it actually makes petrol more enticing, and 35 miles per gallon is pretty good, especially for a V6 250 horsepower car. If you haven't had a chance to drive one yet, I would seriously recommend giving it a go. I know these cars have a reputation of being not cool, but I don't really get it. These are really, really fun cars. They look great, they drive great, they're fast, they're fun, they sound great. What's not to love? Now, I work on cars myself, so I don't pay the cost of getting things repaired at a garage. But being an Audi, being a more premium car, things are more expensive. Even for buying parts, brake discs and pads, they were more expensive than my previous Toyota, for example. Although the brake discs on this are massive, so that's probably why. Now, like all cars, they have common faults. This one of the main ones is the oil coolers that go. I fixed the oil cooler on this because I was getting oil in the coolant, but that sorted it. It was, for me, probably a couple of hours of work and then job done. For a garage, I don't know how much they would charge, but yeah, something to keep in mind. Well, the turning circle on this is actually really good. Easy peasy. Now, I just wanted to do a quick little review just to show you how good these cars are and hopefully convince you to go and get one. Right, so I like to rate my cars on a few different categories. You've got coolness. I would give this an 8 out of 10. I think it's really cool. I know it's not the coolest car in the world. I know it's not like a Lamborghini or something, but I think for a normal person, this is a really cool car. You got funness, honestly, 9 out of 10. Because it's so fast and because it's quite a small car, it's just really fun to drive. You can see I was ripping it up doing an acceleration test. I had it in sport mode and I love it. Puts a smile on my face every time. I have to stop myself from swearing because I'm like, ah! But yeah, it's awesome. Practicality, 7 out of 10. because the boot has loads of space, you can actually use this for going away and doing stuff. Even like doing a full shop, you could chuck all the stuff in there. Plus you've got the space in the rear seats as well. It's a really practical car actually. I think 7 out of 10 is actually not a bit fair, maybe 8 out of 10. I almost forgot it's actually got the extendable rear spoiler as well. If you're going really fast, it will pop up on its own, which is pretty sick. Budgetness, 8 out of 10, really cheap to buy, around the sort of 1,500 for a 2-litre engine or 2,200 for a V6. Very, very normal. And last one is the ease to work on. I know it doesn't really apply to everyone, but for me as someone who fixes cars myself, it's important. Ease to work on, it's gonna be a 7 out of 10. Because it's a V6, more stuff to do. Because it's an Audi and it's German engineering, everything's tightly packed in. It's very well thought out. Everything has its place, but it's undoing this to undo that, to be able to get to that, to undo that, to be able to get to the thing you want to do. It's a small car, small engine bay, big engine, tightly knit. So it's understandable that it's going to be harder to work on. I haven't worked on the 2 litres, maybe they're a bit easier to work on. The engine's gonna be a bit smaller. And also you've got Audi prices for parts, so you've got to factor that in. But all in, 7 out of 10. It wasn't really that bad. It's all achievable and it's all doable.
All in, I give the Audi TT a very respectable 8 out of 10.
But honestly, I kind of want to give it more. This car, I just love it. There's just something about it. It's just really, really cool. It's really fun to drive. I don't know. It's got me. Hopefully this quick review has been enough to convince you to go and buy one. Even if you get the 2 litre, you're gonna have a lot of fun and you can get it stage 1 remapped to about the same as the V6. That's personally what I would go for. Easier to work on, less expensive and cheaper to buy. Oh, well, I hope you enjoyed the review. Hope if you're thinking about buying a car, this helped you make your decision. But as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.